Even in great darkness, there are angels. Even in great light, there are demons. Do not be afraid of your own inner world. Your inner world is what you're meant to be studying at this time to become more knowledgeable of the truth of the origins of the physical matter you are experiencing. The events around you, the people that you've attracted, it's all come from the place of the mind and the heart. Your life is like a work of art. You yourself are the painter, the canvas. You're the idea. You are the paint itself. You're creating all of this. All of this around you is created by the truth of you. So as you start, continue, wherever you're at on your meditation journey, meditation, in my experience, is the only thing that puts me in touch with the source that is the creator of this life. And as I go within, close my eyes, put on a guided meditation, put on high frequency music, 528 hertz, 963 hertz, maybe even just press shuffle on my Apple Music and meditate to the music I've been listening to lately. I need to know what is inside of me that has been creating what's around me. And if I love what I'm experiencing around me, I'm going to find the seed, I'm going to find what's within me and notice, oh, I have this memory of how easy it is to make money. And I'll give you an example. I have this memory from the first time I ever actually sold something, and it's an amazing memory. I was at either Target or Office Depot. I'm not sure which store I was at, but whatever store I was at, looking at the pencil bags that were available. And I didn't like any of them. I didn't want any of them. I wasn't interested in any of them. And I don't remember this part, but the next thing I know, I don't remember kind of how the idea came to be or what happened, but the next thing I know is that I was picking out this fabric that was green and there were pink slices of watermelon on the fabric, and I picked out a black zipper and I went to my room, which had a sewing machine in it that my parents must have bought me. I just don't remember. And maybe my parents had the idea, maybe I had the idea. I honestly don't remember that part of the story, but I know that I ended up sewing my own pencil bag, and I loved it so much and realized that I wanted to have a separate bag for my colored pencils. So I went back to the fabric store with my parents, and my parents got me this other fabric. It was purple and it had black leaves on it and a black zipper, and I made that for my colored pencils. And when I got back to school, I remember it being middle school, I don't know what year. I remember coming back to school with this cute little pencil bag and a cute little colored pencil bag. And the next thing I remember is that kids at school thought that my pencil bags were so cute, and they asked me if I could make them one. And I said, well, I will sell you one. And I had a little business for myself, which was so fun. And it was so easy and so seamless, and it was a good memory. There are aspects of that memory that are positive, right? It's so great that I had a sewing machine and I had those tools that I needed to sew. Like, those are positive memories. There are negative aspects of the memory that I didn't share just now. The way that we choose to look at our past will influence our future. And if we're not conscious of how we look at our past, then how can we consciously create our future? It happens to all of us, I'm assuming, that you go through your day, maybe you're making breakfast, and it's like you're physically in the kitchen making breakfast, but mentally you are somewhere else. You're getting a vision of somewhere in the past, or maybe you're getting a vision of somewhere in the future. We do these things. I was doing things like that for years, not knowing that I was creating my reality, because I hadn't watched The Secret yet. I hadn't meditated yet. I hadn't read Dr. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural yet. I'm trying to think of other things that awakened me to realize the truth of the power of my mind. Probably hadn't watched any YouTube videos. No Aaron Doughty was in existence yet. I just wasn't learning about these things, right? And so I was just living my life, not really having an awareness of what was going on in my mind or in my heart. Now, when I started meditating, I don't want to go into the whole story in depth because, like, I don't have energy for that right now. What I do have energy for is having my focus on you and making sure that the information that's coming out of my mouth is going to serve you in your journey at this time right now. So what you need to do is meditate more. I'm just feeling that so strongly. You don't meditate enough, and you need to start having it be a habit that you do every day, no matter what, at least twice a day, because there's so much going on inside of you that you are not aware of. And if you could just become aware of your inner world, it would create so much abundance for you. It would create an entirely new world, not just for you, but for everyone around you. So become more aware of the stories you tell yourself. Become more aware of what you're holding on to. One thing, this is going to be a good example for you. One thing that I held on to that prevented me from showing up here, okay? And if you look at my YouTube channel, it's full of videos. It's full of really interesting content, okay? And I have a memory of the first time I ever wrote a song. The first time I ever wrote a song, I was super young. I really wanted to sing it to my parents. I was probably around the age of 7. And when I sang it to them, my parents were laughing at it and they wanted to know who the song was about. Instantly, I was annoyed, I was upset, and I started to believe that people were stupid. I started to believe that people didn't care about hearing my song. I just thought it was dumb that they wanted to know who the song was about, and I was like, how can you not celebrate the fact that I wrote a song? Like, for me, I was so proud of myself that I wrote a song, and I just thought it was so cool, and I felt like a little Taylor Swift. Like, I'm like, wow, I'm like 7 years old and I'm writing a song. It's kind of a big deal. I looked up to singers. I thought singers were gods. I just thought they were amazing. So the fact that I could write a song, I just felt like that was genius. I felt like that was so amazing. So then when my parents were like laughing at me and wanted to know who the song was about, I was like, these small-minded beings, all they care about is who my song is about. They just want the drama, they just want the tea, and they don't care about the actual lyrical artwork that I'm doing, because I don't even think the song was about anyone. I think I was just trying to be creative, and I wanted to write a song, and I wrote a song, and it was just so cool in my eyes. I was like, how could they not see how cool it is? So from there, I remember sharing a song with a friend, and she didn't really care either. So I just had this idea, a small little idea, that no one's gonna care what I create, and people aren't gonna see it the way I want them to see it. And so that held me back from creating for so long, and I was always afraid of what people were gonna think, and I wanted people to think certain things about what I was creating, and I had to let go of all of that. I had to find new reasons for sharing what I was creating, because clearly when I was the age of 7, I wanted my parents to see that I was a creative genius, and I wanted to get some clout from mom and dad, and I didn't get that. So I had to realize, okay, there's got to be other reasons for creating. And something that helps me with creating on YouTube specifically is the consistency of it. I look at it as a hobby that I enjoy, and I'm just doing it every day just because I want to do it every day. That's honestly something simple. I'm sure I'll have deeper reasons in the future, but for now, after everything I've found in my inner world that has not matched up with the mindset of someone that is succeeding at creating content, at speaking, at writing. I gotta keep it simple for a little bit because it's been just a lot of hard work, a lot of hard inner work, and I want to share this with you to inspire you that you are in full 100% control of what happens in your world. It might not look that way. It definitely doesn't look that way. Definitely doesn't look like me creating is something I'm in control of, but I totally am. I get to decide how I show up and when I show up and what I do. My own heart was whispering to me 20 minutes before I filmed this video, you don't have to make a video today. You don't have to show up today. You should take a break. You need a break. And I didn't listen to myself. Like, is that something I should work on? I don't know. But what I do know is that you are the one that is observing the messages inside you. And to have the awareness to be able to hear yourself is step one. You've got to be able to hear yourself. You've got to be able to hear, okay, this is coming from my heart. Okay, this is coming from something outside of me that must be a spirit guide. This is coming from me, something outside of me that I don't want to listen to anymore. It must be an angry ancestor or something. This is coming from my mind. This is coming from my body. You've got to start to develop the awareness of where the inner guidance, where the inner voice is coming from, because there are definitely multiple sources of advice and guidance and words happening all within you, and you have so much awareness of so many subtle energies that are all coming into your space. So you've got to start to develop the awareness. Secondly, the protection, deciding what kind of energy you want to have in your inner world. Your inner world is very similar to your outer world. In your outer world, if you have 3 friends and one friend is really aggressive and knows that you want to make content on YouTube and is like, oh my gosh, like, what video are you going to make tomorrow? What video are you going to make the day after that? How are you going to organize your video? What time are you going to be scheduling? If you don't want to listen to that friend, I mean, in the outer world, you probably wouldn't like put tape over the mouth. You probably wouldn't like kick them out of your room. But in your inner world, you can totally do that. You can find the source of the energy that is like pulling on and be like, okay, there's urgency inside of me. I'm not gonna feel this urgency anymore. I'm gonna feel the opposite of urgency, which is peace and calm. I'm gonna start to feel that emotion. If you feel that emotion, that type of energy won't be able to interact with you anymore because you won't be in that vibration. You see what I'm saying? Every single voice, stream of consciousness, guidance, whatever you want to call whatever's happening inside of you, whatever kind of dialogue you're receiving. And I'm just realizing that, like, I read online that some people don't hear their inner voice. So if you don't hear your inner guidance, then this might not resonate with you. But those of you that do hear your inner guidance, and you can hear your inner guidance take on different forms, and you're aware that there are different spirit guides, that you yourself have multiple different ways of talking to yourself that can show up. Like, have you guys ever heard yourself talk to yourself while you're hungry? For me, I talk to myself so angrily when I am hungry. And then I have food, and then all of a sudden, like, I don't hear that anger anymore. It's pretty funny. Not all the time, but it's happened in the past. Anyways, what I'm saying is that if you can shift the energy inside of you, like the emotional energy, the emotional state your heart is in, your mind will communicate with your body from that emotional space. So if you can generate a state of love in yourself, you're gonna have your inner voice be so loving to you. I'm telling you, when this first started happening to me, I remember wanting to make content about it because it was so cool. This was like over a year ago. This was pretty long ago. But I remember being hungry and going into the kitchen, and literally, I kid you not, I heard inside of me, honey, do you want a granola bar? And I was like, no, that's not really what I want. Well, how about some oatmeal? How about a piece of fruit? Like this cute little angelic voice, like, okay, sweetie, what do you want to eat today? Instead of like me going into the kitchen and being like, what am I gonna eat? I don't know, I don't see anything. Like all of a sudden there's like this inner guidance inside of me looking at all the different foods like, sweetie, what are you gonna eat? You know? Pretty cute how you can have a voice inside of you that's guiding you, that's loving and peaceful. It all starts with you. It all starts with what you choose to tolerate inside of you, what you allow inside of you. And meditation will help you so much. You must go into your meditation and listen to all these different sides of you and choose which sides of you you are ready to entertain and ready to give energy to. And maybe there's a side of you that's pretty unkind and you want to give energy to that so you can understand, like, yo, why is this part of me so upset? And maybe it's the part of you that got bullied when you were 10 years old and never got like the care that it needed, and like it's still alive inside of you, and it's like this part that like needs to be spoken to and needs to be hugged and needs to be cared for, and you get to do that. And then all of a sudden in your adult life, you're no longer entertaining these men that are kind of like bullying you, because like apparently you've got this bullying thing, so you're like attracting these other bullying situations because it's like in your field. But like now that you've meditated and now that you've let go of that energy, you don't resonate with the energy in the physical world anymore. You see what I mean? That's how it works. It literally 10 out of 10 always works that way. If you move something energetically out from inside of you, if you shift a way you see something, if you shift the way you remember something, if you shift out of feelings that are similar to negative physical world experiences, you will begin to have positive physical world experiences instead. It's all starting from within you. There are angels with you, always guiding you. Call on angels in your meditation. Call on yourself, your highest self, your future self. Which version of you do you want to be? Have a future in mind. Receive visions of the futures that are available to you as you continue on this path. I'm so grateful for you checking in and being here. I'm so excited because a few days from today, I'll be back in my studio, which is that really cool spot with the microphone and the headset. And you might have seen it from some of my other videos, but I'm gonna be back in that spot in a couple days, and I'm really, really excited because I just think that spot is an upgrade compared to this spot. But I'm super duper excited for that, so you guys can look forward to that. A few videos from now, we'll be in that spot again, and it'll be really cool. And then I have a new spot that I'm going to a couple weeks after that I'm like not going to reveal any details yet because it's going to be a surprise, but it is epic. So I'm super duper excited for you guys to see what's next and what's coming, and I'm going to just continue to show up for you and cheer you on and be here for you. I forgot to tell you that you're doing an amazing job. I should have told you that earlier. I feel like I came in here all, you need to meditate more, but like you're doing a really good job where you're at, and I'm just here to give you this message that meditation is needed, meditation is necessary. Get to know yourself because you are the creator of this reality, and the more you know yourself and master yourself, the more you'll be mastering the events that you're experiencing. Peace, love, unicorns, fairies, and so much magic coming your way. I love you.